Hello and welcome to episode number 10 of Find Your Clients by Creating Stories. This is officially the final episode of our podcast series. And the reason we are smiling is because the journey is almost at the coming to the end, and it was a very good experience for us. Last 3 months, I and Sagar has been interacting around this topic, and we have got some result for our volunteer, and even the thesis or the theory that we thought would should work brought result as well. So that's the reason we are sharing. So right when we are on that topic, I would like to Sagar to share how many clients did our volunteer made, and approximately how much money per month that person will be earning.
Yeah, hi Vikram, and thank you a lot to make me a part of this journey and whatever we learned and whatever we experienced from a volunteer and whatever we try to get in, it's huge than this case study on personal level too. So yeah, the episode of success we can say. So the volunteer was capable enough to get two clients directly, and one was a referral through one of the clients. So you can say three clients as per one client has a contract for coming up 6 months, but it's still a long journey. But as of now, we'll stick on for three clients, that is two client plus one referral. So approx as we decided in our proposal, 100 rupees per post, so 31 post for a month, it's gonna be a total of 9,300. So that number is really nice and beautiful. I don't know why, but it sounds really good. I mean, to this case study and to have a success, it's really good. The amount of experience or amount of exposure or amount of how you tackle the market and give out a product, and it's giving you results in your first approach itself. It's really great thing.
Yes, absolutely, Sagar. And the name of the episode is When Will You Get Your Client? This is an anticlimax, maybe, where we already have the answer first and then we are coming up with the question. But the reason to do this particular episode per se is very specific, is because what happens for example, if like our volunteer, the person who is trying this, watching this series of videos and trying step by step and not able to get the client in the cycle. So then what next? So when will you get your first client? Ideally, the framework was designed in a way like once you do step one to step four, step five, you already have your answer that you got your first client. That was pretty much the way it was designed. uh, but it might be the cases for many reasons. Maybe the topic is not popular, maybe the people that you have connected might not be interested in the idea. There can be a number of reasons, and we cannot decide what the market is going to do. So in case if the market doesn't give you the business, this is the final step of the framework, and here is what we will try to answer that particular question. Again, giving a recap of our framework just to make sure that we sum it up nicely. It's a 5 question framework. The first question is what ticks you? Who is your client is the second question. Where is your client is the third question. How will you pitch your client is the fourth question. Fifth, when will you get your first client is the fifth question. That's the framework, just wrapping it up for you here. And hopefully if step 1 till 4 is done properly, I wouldn't use the word perfect because the definition might differ for people to people. But if you have followed the step, being true to the steps that has been asked to you to do, and used your intelligence and used your communication skills appropriately, you should have already got your client by step 4. If not, then step 5 is there. So this is the step, again 3-step process. The first part of the step is metric, which we discussed in our previous case study as well. The second part is the repeat, which means you have to repeat the metric once again. and the third part is measure. So what we are trying in nutshell in step 5 is asking you to repeat the previous four step or fourth step for new 50 batch of people, where you complete the same formula with new set of people, and then you have to measure the metric. I'll just explain you what I mean by measure the metric, so that you understand if you are making any progress or not. So let's understand what the metric is. So there is a client conversion matrix which we discussed with you in our uh, previous step. And as I mentioned earlier, so if the framework is designed that you should already have a working client, but if not, then you have to ask yourself, like ideally in the previous metric, how many people are asking you for price. That's the metric that you will measure, and putting in the buyer journey again, just to understand what is your exact bottleneck and trying to learn from it. So if not, what you can do, one of the things that we discuss is your people connect with you, but they might have not seen the message. So maybe you can sometime resend the message to make sure that the journey is there, because we see that there was a huge amount of people who are connected in our metric as well, even though our volunteer has got the client. But to just to make sure if they have connected but they have missed that message or something, you can send this message that I have an idea to share with you. It's regarding increasing your personal brand using LinkedIn Story. Now remember, this is particular to LinkedIn, so that your message might change based on whatever platform or uh, social media platform that you might be using. So let's come back to the metrics. So yeah, so this are the 6 steps that, so you start with 100%, 180 people, and let's see how was your conversion. The whole idea is to bring the person here. If you are able to give them a proposal, that means they have already bought in with your idea, and there could be some objection. As promised, we will create a bonus episode on objections, because there will be certain common objection which we want. We have some template answer for it for you, for helping you out with them. So the whole idea is to make sure that if you are able to do this everyone should be able to do. And then you have to see how many are connected, how many are responded, and all that. So each step of the way, if you are able to figure out why people are not falling to the following step, you have to find out and fix it. And it can be anything from messaging, changing of messaging, or maybe you're not picking at the right lead. It can be any number of things, but whatever your best of your abilities is, that you try to kind of polish it so that they can follow through this stage and come to the proposal stage. Now again, the repeat step. So again, we will give you an exact number how much you have to do. So our recommendation is it should not be more than 3 times. So you take a batch of 50 people in the same platform, and each time, so each after each batch is completed, so you have to do it one batch at a time. Don't try to do 150 at a time. Do one at a time. So that's your repeat part of it. And after every time you do, you have to measure it. So basically, if the conversion here is, say suppose 50% are connected, and the next time if it is 60% or if it is 70%, so there has to be some progress, because as soon as the top number are there are some progress, it will automatically come more people to proposal. So more the more probability of someone converting into a client. It's pretty much a numbers game after all. So yeah, if there is already a client, then you're done in the measure step. If you are making progress in the proposal stage, so there are objection, as I mentioned, so we'll create a bonus episode. So but the whole objective of you to see is if you are making progress in that particular step. And if you have repeated 3 times and still there no luck, and if you are not making any progress also in the matrix, then I think it should stop, and maybe you should give it up for this particular exercise, because there is something that is not connecting with you or for you, or it is not working for you. The probability of it is very less likely. It's what our understanding is, with the kind of energy and the kind of replies that we got, it is very unlikely. But in just in case, if you see, you might have to stop. And if you are like some of them, like you, after 3 times you just still want to try it out. You found like, no, I found there is a possibility, like you have that greater, you want to drive it through. Then what we would recommend is you pick another topic and do the whole exercise for different professional platform or pitches. But at the end of the day, I think should not try it more than 10 times is still a uppercase. I mean, I'm nobody to stop you, or Sagar is nobody to stop you. As we have mentioned this multiple times, we are not sales people. Our profession is sales, or we help people to buy our product. But primarily, he's an engineer, I'm from IT background. So this is our recommendation. Because if you are not getting result trying same thing again, what's the point of trying it? So if you still are interested in the topic, you want to try, this is kind of our uppercut kind of a thing. Still, believe like if you do it properly, it should not be the case. And if you are struggling and you have attempted multiple times, and if you don't know what to do, I and Sagar are up for a Zoom call and try to understand what you're trying to do. And maybe if we could help you out, we would be more than happy to do that. You can reach us out by putting a comment in the this particular video, and we can figure it out. Maybe drop your email ID in the comments below, and then we might reach out to you, and we can set up a time and see what journey or what the process that you have done. So that is our answer. When will you get your first client? So to be very honest, we don't know when you may get. But our objective from this whole exercise, with the help of a volunteer, was it is possible. It's proven, and uh, we don't find this as a rocket science or anything. It's if someone gets it, they get it. They see value for money. It's very easy to create. Also, it increases your knowledge in your subject matter expert or the topic of your interest. So it's a win-win for you as well as the prospect that you have client. You have the prospect who converts to a client. So that's it from my side of this today's presentation. Sagar, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, Vikram. As you said, you never know when you get, gonna get a client. But the most beautiful thing what I saw in the journey of this volunteer trying to do this is, everyone has a product and everyone goes out to sell it. But there is no method to do it. No, when I want to repeat it again, or when I fail in that process, there is no steps for me to go back home and go to a different market and sell it. But here this 5 steps, it is really easy for him to grow step by step. And if he is wrong somewhere, or if he is not getting results, he can definitely go back, change his platform or change his product, and again follow these steps. Now, this is very important than rather just getting a client, or you may get it here, or after 3 times you may not. But in this whole experience, you understand what market demands from you, and is market okay for whatever you're offering. And when 150 people are replying you certain messages, it definitely says, like, you will have a genuine answer, right? Rather than the imagination answer, you will have a genuine answer coming out from the market, which definitely says, right, is it okay to go with it for next 3 attempts or 4 attempts? You will
Yes,
definitely have that kind of answer.
signals. You
Yes.
will you will have the signal from the market to know that if there is something like. And also one again, I want to highlight one thing that Sagar emphasized is because even if you don't have any skill on that particular topic, then also you can do this particular business. Is because you are sharing the knowledge that is been already shared by the expert in the industry. So you are a student of that particular industry or a particular topic. So there is no like a very strong skill set is needed. Like for example, in my case, not everybody can code from day one. Like they have to learn for whatever 3 years or at least 6 months, and they have to come. Or for example, nobody can be a mechanical engineer like on day one. They have to understand the laws of physics, and maybe I don't know how the equipment works and how the pressure and all the things that. So in this particular business, the skills that are needed is pretty much, if you are watching this, if you are a little bit savvy with your laptop or your phone, you should be able to do it. And that's the reason switching from topics or switching between profession or a niche is very simple here, because we are, the product in itself is very simple. It's a quote by a famous person in your industry, and it has been there for, I don't know, maybe hundreds of thousands of years already, because there are some old Greek or Latin quotes which are still relevant in today's day. There are philosophical quotes. There are some hard science quotes of physics and gravity and all those things. So those are the things. That is the product. It's pretty much an image that indulge in the intellectual thought that someone remarkable in your industry has already done. So there is no barrier to entry, if I may say, in this particular business line, side business that we are speaking about.
Yeah, seriously. And one more great thing I get very surprised is the topic when we chose about sales leaders, and we were literally not expecting the results whatever we are expecting. So market always surprises you. Maybe
Yeah.
zero or one, whatever it is, it gonna surprise you, and it comes with a package, huge package of experience.
Yes, yes. I mean, what he mentioned, what Sagar is mentioning is, we thought like salespeople will be one of the toughest people to sell because they understand what they are being sold and all. But to our surprise, like we are completely blown. Like with minimum, not minimum, the effort was there. We will share the effort in our bonus episode, but still to not get completely shut down. And what Sagar again mentioned, like the feedback that the community is providing, the kind of question that they are sending, it it makes us think like, yeah, there is a need for this particular product, and people are ready to pay for it.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess we should speak about how did you come up with these idea once someday in some
So
other episode. Yeah.
yeah, maybe some other series, but yeah, idea creation is, I think it's a skill that also can be learned. That's my belief. I got couple of fundamental beliefs. Like Sagar is my cousin, so he knows me like maybe since our childhood. So there is also always a philosophy that I used to share with him, my siblings. Like, to make money, you don't need money, and I used to always get a slack from everyone. And today,
We
I
proved
got
it.
a testimony. I can prove it. Like, if you want to make money, you don't need money. Thank you very much, people. That's the conclusion for our episode. We'll still throw three bonus episode so that it helps for people who are really interested in it and who want to do this side business. Thank you very much, Sagar. Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for
thank you.
being patient week after week for almost 3 months now. And I think we have a memory that we have recorded, and it's there on internet for the
Yeah.
future us, and maybe a decade from now we will watch it and laugh
Yes.
on it.
Definitely, definitely. I still believe even that day this part of business will be relevant.
Absolutely, the medium will change, but
But
the idea will still be relevant in that part.
yeah, yeah.
That's kind of this. That's the profound thing about simple ideas. Like lives longer, and we don't know why, but somehow we know like, yeah, it is relevant.
Yeah,
So
yeah, technology changes, but humans don't, maybe.
maybe that's why we are I think million year old brain. So
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's the reason it doesn't change.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you a
Thank you
lot.
so much for watching. If you like it, please, I request you to please like, share, subscribe. The reason for doing that is, someone by watching this whole series of 10 plus 3 episode might find some way to have some side income. And approximately 10,000 per month is good money for anyone in a small town, or even in big town. It can pay a month uh, rent for someone in most part, not all the part, but most part, maybe most part of it. So it's not a small amount in by many standard. So I urge you to like it, share it with your cousins, share it with your friends. Let them share, let them go through the idea. It will approximately, I don't know, it will approximately take their 3 to 4 hours for them to watch and rewatch to understand, but they might learn a thing or two. Thank you very much, and thank you again,
Thank you.
Sagar, for
Thank
your
you,
time.
people. Thank you a lot.